Hey guys, earlier today, someone in my Facebook group, and I'm not going to show her name because I think it's her real name, she posted this case, really dreadful. It was these teenagers who filmed themselves pushing an elderly man off a pier into water. Absolutely nuts. He was okay, he didn't die. You know, because we've been talking so much about the hypothetical river monster serial killer, both on this channel and on MichelleAfterDark, there isn't a river monster serial killer in the UK. The serial killer is the water. Anyway, when I read this article, this is the reason why I'm making this video, it reminded me of a case in Preston in Lancashire a few years ago. And I just set out to make a really long post on Facebook. And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to do this in a video. It's going to be easier. All right, so Preston's in Lancashire. It's a city. Is it the biggest city in Lancashire? I think it might be. There's a park near the River Ribble called Avenham Park. It sits at the edge of Preston City. I know Avenham Park very well because back in the day, so I'm going back to like 2001, 2002, I lived in Preston for about a year. I hated it. I felt like I was in a goldfish bowl because I was also working in Preston and students used to see me. And I was once in Greg's, which is a bakery. I was in the queue because it's always busy in Greg's. And it was this student, and she was asking me like questions about, anyway, by the by. So I hated it and I moved. But I used to live near Avenham Park, so I go there every single day because it was about the only green space that was accessible. So there's an old tramway, all right, over the River Ribble. And the River Ribble goes out into the Irish Sea. All right, so that's the location. Okay, so the case that I remember was back from 2018. Heartbroken mum looking for answers. Family of Michael Brooks may never know how he drowned in Avenham Park. So he drowned in the River Ribble in Avenham Park. And there was witnesses. But there was a lot of conflicting stories. So I'm going to read you this. The family of a teenager who disappeared in Avenham Park may never know how he ended up in the River Ribble. Michael Brooks' family have urged anyone with information about the night he disappeared to contact police after a coroner recorded an open verdict into his death. Preston College student Michael, 19, was found in the river in Penwitham. So Penwitham's here. It's like on the outskirts. So he's gone from Avenham Park and then his body was found in Penwitham. So I don't know whether they call that Penwitham or that Penwitham. But anyway, in that area. After a 3-week search by mountain rescue, fire and rescue services and friends and family. And this is in February 2018. The last man to see him alive, Connor Rishton, told an inquest, so the coroner held an inquest. There's potential for a crime here, but there was nothing that could be really evidenced as a crime. We're going to talk about that shortly. So the coroner dealt with it. All right, so Connor told the inquest how Michael disappeared into the night after the pair went to watch stars in Avenham Park, high on hallucinogenic drugs, at around 1:20 a.m. on January 13th. Yeah, Avenham Park, a lot of people there who were drinking, a lot of people there who are high. It happens in Avenham Park. Everything happens in Avenham Park. You can see the entire kind of walk of life in Avenham Park. I swear to God, you can. Right, so Connor says that Michael just disappeared into the night. A man and woman who were drinking whiskey on the banks of the river, okay, all right, so this is the middle of the night, said that they heard splashing and saw a silhouette in the water around 1:30. When they went to investigate using torches on their phones, they could not see anyone, well, because he'd gone under. The woman said, I didn't understand how someone could just vanish into thin air. He didn't vanish into thin air. He drowned. You saw him drown. You were too drunk to realise what was going on, most probably. Instead of calling emergency services, no, they probably just went back to drinking whiskey. I don't know. I'm only saying. They may not have. But at this point, anyway, Michael's disappeared into the water. There were witnesses, but Nobody did anything. All right. Another witness to the inquest gave statements claiming Michael was thrown from the old tramway bridge by two unnamed men at knife point to settle an outstanding drug debt. Now, that is a very big statement to make. Now, this wasn't handled as a homicide investigation. This was handled by the coroner because there was no evidence. Right? There's just this random witness saying that two men threw Michael off the bridge. This is the old tramway. I know the old tramway well. I used to walk across there often. A wooden bridge. A tram used to go over there, years gone by. All right, when Avenham Park was kind of posh, right, instead of having druggies in it. So that's the old tramway. It goes across the river. It's a nice walk, honestly. But apparently, this witness said that Michael was pushed off at knife point. All right, so settling a drug debt by pushing him off a bridge into the river doesn't seem that likely. However, in September 2018, she told police a man referred to in court as Y had confessed to killing Michael. But investigations revealed records showing he was staying at a care home in East Lancashire on the night Michael disappeared. So this witness was either mistaken on the person or was lying. Like I said, no evidence. Area coroner James Newman recorded an open verdict stating there are two very polar opposites account of how Michael has gone into the water. So one, homicide. Two, he just disappeared. Right, he probably just walked in hallucinating. With all the best will in the world, I don't think we're ever going to get to the answers. No, they're not. So that was the searching for Michael there. Michael's body was recovered from the River Ribble near the Bullnose on February the 6th. What on earth is the Bullnose? I have no idea what the Bullnose is. If you're in Preston, what's the Bullnose? But it was in Penwitham anyway. Police launched a missing persons appeal on Sunday, February 14th, after Michael's friend told a support worker at the Lawson Street project where he lived he had not returned from the park. Yeah, because, he just disappeared into the night, disappeared into thin air. Oh, my God. I used to walk down Lawson Street every day as well. For 3 weeks, family and friends scoured the area around the park looking for clues. As search teams used all resources, they had to try and piece together Michael's final movements. A post-mortem into his death revealed he had drowned, but did not find any other signs of injury. In a statement, Michael's mum Joanne said, "I know nothing that happened today at the inquest will change the outcome. I'm not a crazy mum looking for justice. I am a heartbroken mum looking for answers. Michael was happy-go-lucky, a little vulnerable. He had too much energy and often stood out from the crowd. His friends brought out the best in my amazing son. He had so much to live for." Michael's aunt Cheryl said, "We don't want rumours or further upset or confusion, but we would appeal for people to think back to that day and anything that sticks out, please go to the police." So it's a really sad story. I mean, there's a potential that he was pushed off a bridge at knife point. Honestly, I don't think it's likely. That story does seem to have a lot of holes in it. I think he was hallucinating, and unfortunately, the river's quite deep there. It's quite fast flowing. It just took him. And the people drinking the whiskey didn't understand water. I don't know. It's just really sad. All right, guys. That's it. I thought you'd appreciate this case. I'll see you soon.